Yo, right here I have the iPhone Air along with the 17 Pro Max and the AirPod Pro 3s. So a lot of content to make, but in this video, I'm just covering the iPhone Air, going to be unboxing it and giving you my first impressions. So here it is. I picked up the iPhone Air in space black and I'm still very salty that we didn't get a space black version of the Pro this year. The silver is nice. I guess it is growing on me a little bit in the couple hours that I've had it now, but I'm really mad that they only had it for the Air this time. But honestly, this is a phone that I am very excited to test out. It's not going to be my daily driver. That's by far going to be the Pro Max, but this is one of the most unique phones from Apple we've seen in the last few years. Brand new form factor, the thinnest one they've made. So I think this is the one this year that everyone has their eyes on. I am struggling to open this box, by the way. What is going on? It's like still taped on the bottom. I don't know. I've had problems with every box I've opened this year. Maybe I'm just a dumbass, but oh my God. Okay. We're gonna pretend none of that happened. Whoa. All right. So, holy crap. This is way thinner than I thought. But okay, come on now. Side by side, you're telling me you don't want to see this fairly good looking phone in space black? Like, yeah, it looks good. Wow, it really is super thin. I don't even know how to describe how this feels. It's not so thin that it feels like it's gonna break, but like, it's honestly kind of shocking sitting in your hand. Wow. But oh my gosh, this space black all around looks very good. I'm someone who likes to go caseless with all of my phones, and honestly, like, definitely Pro Max, I prefer it as a caseless phone. It feels thicker, it feels nice in my hands, but this, frankly, isn't bad. It doesn't really feel like it's slipping out, but I would probably throw a case on here just because, I don't know, it almost feels like a toothpick, if that makes any sense. Like, it is very weird. Now, inside the box, of course, cable, paperwork. We've stopped getting Apple stickers, I think. Unless they're just like hidden somewhere, but yeah, that kind of sucks. Oh well, on to actually setting up the phone. And there it is. So side by side with the screens turned on. I still very much prefer the bigger size of the Pro Max, but honestly, the Air, it is a nice phone. I think that, you know, is the thinness of it a gimmick? I wouldn't call it that, but I don't know. I mean, I'm still just genuinely impressed with like how solid this still feels, but it's also surprising me at the same time. Oh wow, it's like crazy how different that is. All right, so I just finished setting up the phone and I'm gonna spend the next couple of hours alongside the Pro Max testing out the phone, using the camera, just seeing what is the experience with the phone so that I can give you a good first impression. But just want to look back at the design of both of these. Honestly, the more that I'm looking at this, I don't know what you would really call it, but camera bar, I guess, I actually really like the design. I think I prefer the one on the Pro, this single bar. I guess they're both single bars, but this like smaller bar with the one camera on the Air. It doesn't look bad by any means, but I think I do still prefer how this looks. Now again, I think space black looks better. It's cleaner. I like to have all of my products in a black color, so a little annoying that I had to go silver here, but I really don't mind how this looks. So nearing 24 hours later, I've had the time to use the iPhone Air alongside the 17 Pro Max, and I have some thoughts to share. Of course, the first place to start is looking at this design. It's the thinnest iPhone ever at 5.6 millimeters and just 165 grams. Holding it in my hand feels insane. It's super impressive how thin it is while still feeling good. It also has a 6.5-inch screen, so while not as big as the Pro Max, it's still a great size for most people. I was honestly surprised to see that the entire iPhone lineup now has ProMotion. I was unsure if the Air would actually have it, but I didn't expect to see it at all on the base 17s. ProMotion has honestly been one of the main reasons I've gone with the Pro phones previously, so this is a game changer. The titanium frame of the Air feels very similar to my 16 Pro, just in a slimmer case. I'm curious to see how this performs with thermals over the next month, given my two previous iPhones would get warm throughout the day. The display inside is using the same technology as the Pro phones. It has 1000 nits of peak brightness in typical use, 1600 nits peak brightness in HDR content, and 3000 nits peak brightness outdoors. I took this outside for about 45 minutes alongside the Pro Max, and I had no issues viewing either in direct sunlight. Now, aside from the thin design, the cameras inside this phone are quite impressive. Around the back, you have a single camera lens in the horizontal bar. I will say that I prefer the design of the Pros. It just looks more rugged and interesting, but this does have a more minimal look. It's a glass module as opposed to aluminum on the Pros, so even though it has ceramic shield too, I'd be worried about dropping this. That said, the camera inside is one 48 megapixel Fusion main camera, just like the one found in the Pro's 3 camera array. This lets you shoot 48 megapixel photos at 1x and 12 megapixels at 2x. In the camera app, you can also tap on the 1x button to swap between 26mm, 28mm, and 35mm lenses. Of course, it's still a digital crop, but you get great results out of this camera. It doesn't have the more advanced features of the Pro like shooting photos in RAW or video in log, but you're able to film up to 4K 60fps footage, and the results are still great. This still is an iPhone camera after all, and if you don't care to do any crazy color corrections or edits, the results you can get with such a thin and lightweight phone are insane. Around the front, we do get the new 18 megapixel center stage front camera, and now that I've tried this myself, I think it's much more useful of a feature than I originally thought. You can get a super wide shot without having to rotate your phone, and you're able to use center stage while on video calls or shoot very stabilized video. You now also have the ability to shoot dual capture video, which will record your front camera in the corner alongside the back camera. Now, the elephant in the room with this phone is the battery, and I think it's where most people will end up making their decision. This is a really impressive phone at $999, and if it can last an entire day, even with heavier usage, then this would be an easy recommendation. My fear though is that if, for example, you want to take this out and shoot photos for several hours while listening to music, you're going to have a rough time keeping this thing alive. Apple is claiming 27 hours video playback on the Air compared to 33 on the non-Max 17 Pro. Playing streamed video gives 22 hours compared to 30 on the 17 Pro. Given that Apple is also showing battery numbers alongside the MagSafe battery pack, makes it look like that if you're planning on using the phone for an entire day, you're probably going to need that with you. Luckily, the phones can charge quite fast, but I think it comes down to how often you're using the phone for an extended period of time, like while traveling. For my 1-month review, I'll be testing this phone a lot more heavily and seeing in heavy scenarios, can it last the entire day? So those have been my thoughts on the iPhone Air after testing it out for about a day now. I'm very impressed with how thin this phone is, and I'm excited to see how the battery performs. This won't be my daily driver long term. I still prefer the design and feel of the Pro Max along with its larger screen, but I am excited to test what I think will be the most interesting phone in the lineup this year. Let me know what you think about the iPhone Air down below. Thanks for watching, and take care.